Right, everyone, this is my tier list for 2.8 in ranked, purely for ranked. Uh, I'm making this. It's not like a trend because I'm not really gonna make a trend, but I was watching Vex's tier list last night, and I was just like, well, people have really got to do it because all I've been doing recently is just playing ranked, right? And matchmaking is shambles. One game I'll be getting diamonds, one I'll be getting golds, and literally the only difference between them is what they pick and draft and how they draft. It's literally the only difference, and it's literally what makes ranked so bad. If everyone knew how to draft, games would be okay. Wouldn't be the best, but they'd be okay. So this is just going to be purely just ranked what you should take. Not necessarily going to be the best in every situation, but what you should, because it will be stable, um, or it will be carryable. And I will put them in order from SS to D. SS being, just get rid of them. Like, you don't need them there. Ban them out every time. Right, so I'll start off with the A's. Wait. Start off with the A's and then we'll clear our way through. So, Andrew's a fine champ, but there's way too many counters. Way too many counters. Like, he's difficult. He's not difficult. He's difficult to 1v1 different champions. You've got Kashi, you've got Lian, even the two flankers he doesn't really win against. So I'd probably put him B minus just because in so many situations he's not able to be run. For Ash is well, there's two main off things. There's Ash and there's Khan. I personally don't think there's much of a difference between them, but I'm gonna put her A because she's one of the best two off tanks, and both teams will generally run. Atlas, I'd say still one of the best champs in the game. In ranked, he's so easy to get use out of, like so easy. His deja vu. I'm not sure what their normal one for it's called, but just putting a point tank back like that, it just changes the whole pace of the game. And his ult is just it's a brilliant stall. And in point fights is what decides most of the ranked games. People don't normally put it the whole 2-0 way because there's staggers and all sorts of different problems going on. Disorganization really. So it's generally almost always based around point fight. And for that, Barrick is the best point tank. There's an Ara. We're going through an order, but there's an Ara. I do think they're both pretty similar. I don't think he's much better than an Ara. It's just in most comps he does do better. He fits better. He can make more of an impact. But I don't think there's too much of a discretion between the two of them. BK's very map dependent, but he is insanely strong. Again, very good for point fights. I probably will just say that a lot. I do personally believe that's like one of the biggest takes on ranked. And I may move him around. I've tried to like shorten it a little bit. I don't have as many as Guru does for the things because I feel like that's better. But I don't know. I might change it. But I haven't pre-planned this. I did watch Vex's last night, but this is my take on what I think's best. Right, Book. See, Book. I've looked at Book more recently purely just because he's being played more in the pro scene. But I think he's very good early, right? Obviously you don't have court. If you want to run bulk up, he's jump in, he's unkillable, and if he can get himself back out, he's caused a problem. Right now, I think I play in bounce house, 75% cooldown reduction or whatever. When you get the limit, resets everything. I run that, and it's really good. But again, you stomp on the early, and then they get caught. They start to become aware of what you're gonna do. Like they position for it. You only need two. You will get a kill, but you're only gonna be fragging out, and you might not be getting the key targets every time. I'm gonna Actually, you can. Right, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make like so when I go into a sector, I'm gonna have it go along. So the best of this one will be that. Cassie. Cassie is really good. I'm not gonna put an S anymore because she's only really good for her damage now. Her big game is insane. It's one of the one of the highest DPS uh, systems in the game. If you consistently land your big game shots on the key targets, you will be doing the most. So I'm gonna put it above BK. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna leave her there for now. Dredge's dog. He's just terrible. Um, to be fair, I don't really like he puts out quite a bit of damage. So I'm not putting him on D, but never like I'd still say never play this character. Like never. If there's higher options up the DPS board, which there will be because they can't pick and ban that many. Pick above them. Pick above what's up here. Drogo's Drogo's a very flexible character. Even if you're running him into hit scan on certain maps, you can still run him because you're running combustible and you're running fusillade. Um, so you will get use out of him, even if he's completely counted out. He's still viable. So I'm gonna put him straight in the middle. Evie, Evie S tier. E, she's insane. She's probably better than Maeve. Maeve's really good as well though. Flanks can be run on almost any map. Um, even maps where they didn't really used to be played on, they're being played on now. And a good Eevee, depending on where you're playing, you coming up against an Eevee one trick or the higher players, it's just not something you want to play against because it ain't dying. Nando. Right, where would I think I'd put Nando B minus. Again, another really early, like an early game champ. I'll put him there. I know you can't really compare the two, but I'll put him there. Purely because obviously when they don't have Wrecker, you can pump out a lot of shields, especially with a new card if people are running that. You can pump out a lot of shields, and most of the time you're gonna want to run a formidable. And obviously when you get caught formidable, it's not so good. I'd never really say run him with a point tank, never. I know some people do, because he's a good replacement, but you're better off just running the double off tank, or on ice mines. Term. I know people like him on ice mines, but generally just off tank. Furia. To be fair, I play every role. I do. Support's my least played role, but obviously when I play tank, I know what supports are doing good. I know the difference they're making in my game. So I'm gonna put Furia A because Furia's ult is the best in the game by far. She pumps him out quick as soon as she's got morale boost too, because most of the time you'll go just morale boost first item. You're pumping him out on it, and her healing's good. Providing on your support, but I'm not really taking in skill gap in this tier list. Grok damage. I'm not considering the other one because there is no other one. I'd probably put him B minus, but Andrew's probably going to be at the back of this. I may even move him down. I'd put him below Buck, but yeah, Grok. Grok has a high damage output, but a lot of it's trash damage. Like it's not like it's good damage. It is good damage, but a lot of it's trash, and it. But by that I mean it's putting in damage that's just going to get healed up fairly easily. It's not making as much impact as the numbers say it is. And Cassie, BK, anything with a lot of burst can kill him out fairly easily. Grover, Grover's very map dependent. You need everyone quite tight. But his healing numbers are insane, and to be fair, they do completely different things. But Grover's up there with Furia's ult. It makes him pretty much unkillable. You get caught free and things change a bit, but he's pretty much unkillable. The CC reduction, he can counter out pretty much any ult that's put down. He can out heal Furia's ult damage, any CC ults. Yeah, so he's fairly viable. Amani, yeah, that's her name. I forgot it for a second. I'm gonna put Amani down in C. I think her kit provides a lot, and you can change. Like you can obviously go for the frostbite, I think it's called, or the fireballs. So she's got the CC. She's got quite high damage output. Sometimes she's got high burst. Um, she does a lot, but she doesn't do the thing she does very well. So I'm leaving her down in C. And Nara, I'm gonna put a Nara in S tier, just because it's like you have to take these. You know, if they're up, you pretty much have to take them. Um, Again, I'm gonna put a Nara this side of Barrack. I think they're both. I think they're both as good as each other, but Barrack fits in way more often than an Nara does. He can play. It's every map. An Nara will have her weaker maps. Barrack doesn't. It's like Fish Market, for example. Barrack's still the best one. So yeah, in most cases, you're gonna want to be picking Barrack up over that. Genos. If you have a Genos, again, I'll just go back to the point tanks for a second. If you have a Genos, you're gonna want to opt for Barrack way more than an Ara. Barrack is really good with an Ara, with Genos, because of the damage boost and because he does well around his Genos's heals. He has his own turret heals and he can drop core really easily. I'm gonna put him. See, I really like Genos. I think his healing's good. I really like Genos. But I think because of how the supports are, they're all really balanced. I don't think I can put Furia on S, and I don't think I can put him on A. So I know B plus might not sound a lot for him, but in relation to other supports, it should be alright. Khan. I'm gonna put Khan A as well. Or like A very close to S. I think him and I think him and Ash are very, very similar, and I'd consider putting her up. They are. Khan is better in most situations, and to be fair, in a lot of the time, the off when you're, obviously you've got your off tank and DPS if you're having that sort of trade out. Um, it doesn't really sway. Well, like which point tank is on which team doesn't really sway the fight. You've just got to play it a lot smarter if you Ash. You can't dash at certain times. So I guess the fact they have a Khan affects it, but in most situations it doesn't make that much of a difference. Kanessa, very, very viable, but very inconsistent. Can only be played in some places. I'll put her as a B. I'll put her at the lower end of it as well. Koga, I don't even need to talk about Koga. That's going at the bottom. Dies too quickly. You can't really do much. Lex, I quite like Lex. I'm actually gonna put him higher end of B minus. I think Lex is much more consistent than Buck. I will put him above Buck. I do think he does better. Certain maps, obviously, yeah, he has no verticality, which is the only reason why Lex is never top tier, because there's not a lot he can do. But what he does do, he does well. So we'll put him there. Leanne, personally my favorite DPS pick. Um, I in ranked, right? I'm gonna go back ranked tier list now. In ranked, Leanne, it's much more easier to get use out of Leanne than it is Cassie. Leanne's very easy. You don't even have to hit her shots to get use out of her, but it's very easy to aim with her. Especially with the E, hitbox is very forgiving. You got 1200 damage burst depending on the distance. But I do think Leanne's better than Cassie. I personally always opt for Leanne unless I really need Cassie's big game. If I think the big game's going to get more use, then I will go for Cassie. Maeve, I am going to put S tier, but like I know you can't compare them behind can, but um, Evie's the better option. I think she does everything. She does everything better. She doesn't have as much burst as Maeve, um, but she's just got more. She is easier. You can't say that. I don't, to explain it, she gets in, she can get out. It's easy in that stance. Obviously, it's knowing when to go in. I'm not going to talk about it in this one, but Evie's better than Maeve. Koa, I'm going to put in SS. I know a lot of people think Koa is better than Atlas, and I think it's probably about a 50-50 split on that argument. Um, I I, I personally prefer Atlas. I think he's way better just with his recall. His damage output's pretty good as well. Um, it's like 1350 on headshots. Um, but yeah, I think just with his recall and rewind, um, it does put him at the higher priority pick. Uh, Damba, Damba's going to put B. He has he has a good ult. His healing output's been the same for ages. Um, it's a good healing output. The movement speed that you run, it's consistent and you can spread it between multiple people, which is good. Put the gold on point and heal the off tank people around the sides and so on. Moji, I'm gonna put Moji in D. Um, doesn't do well against burst damage. His burst is insane, but I don't feel like he can. You'll know when he's coming, and you only need two people to look at him, whether that's a support and an off tank. Like you just need two people to look at him, and he can't do anything. But I will put him above Koga. I might actually just put him C, but so close to D. Just because I don't think yeah, but worse than these two. Pip, I'm gonna put super consistent. Good damage. I have damage Pip. I'm obviously looking at. Um, but he's an off heal. Supplements his healing quite well. 1200 burst in the right situation. It makes up for his slight lack of damage compared to other damage dealers. Ruckus. Ruckus is really good. Um, I rarely play him purely because Cassie and BK is always up. I don't play Ruckus enough to be up there, but um, I don't in ranked. I personally just don't bother running him into hard counters. I if Cassie and BK are picked, I generally won't pick Ruckus, but Ruckus is really good and has a lot of potential. Ceres, I'm prob I'm probably gonna put Ceres as a C. Um, I can't remember where Vex put on, but Vex's support positioning is gonna be way more accurate than mine. But yeah, her healing's really good. It does when they get caught free, the only thing she's good at becomes so little. Um, so very early game, but as soon as you get caught free, you'll see the tides of the fight turning, and that's not what you're gonna want. Um, I think I lose most of my games when I have a Ceres as a heal. Charlene, um, Charlene's quite buggy and doesn't really do much anymore compared to the rest of the damages. Um, I don't know whether to put him high B minus or low B. I would say I'd much rather a DPS Pip than I would Charlene on my team, and I'd much rather play it myself. Um, so I'm gonna put him there. Sky, um, on flat maps, obviously she's got the flank potential, but she's pretty much a DPS. You don't flank with her because she can't get back out. She's sort of you play her the nuisance. She does extremely high damage against tanks. Um, I'm probably gonna put her there. Um, not as good as these two, but you know you're probably gonna get more effect. Probably gonna get more out of her than you will with Andrew or Grok. But to be fair, I really regret putting this because some of the Sky players you get in ranked is just they they don't play alright. Right, Strix. Um, he's right. We won't compare, but he's up there. Obviously, we'll compare him to these and BK. Strix as a sniper is super balanced. Um, kind of. Hear me out now. He's balanced as a sniper. He's a good sniper. He's got a stealth, 1200 damage, same as Kinessa. Actually, he doesn't do as much with his sniper shot most of the time because of Kinessa's legendaries. But he has a secondary, and his secondary comes with the 800 damage flare when you run his legendary. So you've got a 2000 burst without the headshot. With the headshot, you've got an instant one shot. And to be fair, in most cases, you're going to be one shotting with body shot flare anyway, because of the burn and low HP pools. So Strix is just insane. You could run the whole game with his pistol and still be useful. Talus. Talus is very easily killed. Only got burst when his overcharge is up. But it's not actually it's not burst, it's high damage over kind of a short amount of time. But it's enough amount of time to be able to kill him. And most people above him will be able to kill him easier than he can kill them. So I'm gonna put him I'm gonna no, I'm gonna put him above Moji. I'm gonna put him above Moji. Um Terminus. Terminus is kinda bad on Ice Mines. Yeah, Ice Mine, yeah. Ice Mines you can run him, but you don't really need to because there is other better picks. I do think he's a better point tank than Nando. Well, he is a better point tank than Nando. He's a good point tank. It's just he's obviously got his weaknesses, um, and everyone knows about them. That's why you rarely ever see him picked. I am gonna put him above Nando though, purely because when you pick Nando, you can generally pick Term on point tank. I'm talking now, and Term generally will do it better. Torvald. See, it's kind of difficult because I don't know why, but I've been talking Nando like he's a point tank. Don't think I should have. I'm gonna put him B minus at the end. You always lost out on an off tank. You always lost out on, the being able to shield, being able to make space like Khan and Ash does, because that's the role he's in. He's in the off tank role, but he's not. He's like the midpoint between an off tank and a support. He can try and make the space, and he can try and hold the space, but he does that by enabling his DPS to do more. So it's like he's like half an off tank, but he makes his DPS like 1.5 DPS. But obviously after his nerfs, there wasn't much to take him for. Tyra, I don't think Tyra is very good. Obviously she lost her hunter's mark. Her damage boost was really good. Now people generally run burn monster in ranked. I'd say if you pick her, run burn monster in ranked. It pisses people off. It takes, people don't always know how to play against it. It's not bad. But I do think there's probably more potential in her grenade legendary with the right loadout. So I'm gonna put her. You've got to put her above Sky, just for consistency. But yeah, I'm gonna put her there in the B minus. Victor, I think Victor's really good. High damage output. I'm gonna put him above Ruckus because you can pretty much play. I'd say I play Victor in any game unless like Eevee's picked like early. Just because you're not necessarily gonna die to Eevee every time, because she shouldn't be able to get on you that easily. But if Evie knows what she's doing, she's got to pick the right times. Um, you will get you will get killed by her more times than you would if you weren't against a flank. So it's generally a last situational pick, but high damage output. Um, and yeah, high damage output is really all he's good for, but he has the high AoE with his grenade and hit scan potential. Vivian. I am gonna put Vivian on B above Charlene. I think the damage output. Obviously, you're not consistently firing with Vivian. I know that's what she does, but it's very easy to hit her, poke her out on pretty much any champ, and she will have to move out of the way to regen or reload or whatever. Because you can't really peek with these. You can peek round corners and shoot. With Vivian, to ramp up the damage, you need to be looking at them for more than 2 seconds, and that's enough to really just say, right, well, you can no longer look at us. Willow. Willow. I do think she's still really good. She's got her counters. I ban this champ, to be fair. Mainly because it's ranked. People don't do well around the dead zone. They will sit on it. I think ranked, right? She's a very good DPS to pick in ranked. I don't think she's more priority than Strix, but with her dead zone, her ult tears a team apart in ranked. It really does make such an impact. Ying. See, Ying, like Ceres, all she's really got is her healing. I don't know where Vex put Ying, but I'm probably gonna put her here. Her healing's better than Grover's because you can do it from anywhere, and her healing is better than Ceres's. Her ult super strong, even against Court, it's not too bad as well. It gives her mobility. I do think she's a really good support. I might not be doing her justice putting her here, but just as a comparison to other supports, she's there. But don't ignore the side for the supports. And Xin, I quite like Xin personally. I may even put him above Lex and Buck, only because he lacks verticality as well. But in most cases, on most maps, you're going to want to be using Zin's ult to get onto the high ground, to get into a flank position. If you look at it from a mobility perspective, Zin's ult is very mobile, and that's 70% of his ult. 30% of his ult is the damage. If you look at it from a consumption point of view, it only uses 70 if you don't hit anyone. So in most cases, I will use that as vertical mobility. So for that reason, I'm putting him there above Lex because he has that potential. Right, and I would pretty much say that's it. Well, I say pretty much that is it. They've all gone. But the only thing I'd say, this may sound, no, I'm not gonna even say it sounds big-headed. Just use this as Bible. If you don't know how to draft, and you don't know what you should pick, just follow this. I've done it left to right as well. Just if you want to play DPS, if most of the time top 2 end up getting DPS unless they want something else, but follow it along, follow the trend, and then obviously same for flank, and don't feel obligated to have to take 2 flanks, but these flanks are very good. So that's all I've really got to say about it, to be honest. Yeah, I've recently played ranked, so it's pretty accurate. I'm not going to ramble on. I'm going to stop it here. Thanks for watching, and I hope it helps someone.